But we start this week with the Honda Civic. First seen at Motor 87. I've been driving the first right-hand drive version, fresh off the boat from Japan, just 3 weeks ago. The Civic has been around for 15 years now, which comes as something of a surprise when you reckon it up. But it's certainly been a winning number for Honda because they've sold over 5 million vehicles in that time. The 1987 version, which was first launched at the Frankfurt Motor Show in September of this year, and we looked very briefly at the car, has been sufficiently revamped for them to call it a third-generation Civic. What they've done as far as the body shell is concerned is that by reworking the suspension, giving it double wishbones all round, they've been able to lower the car by a good 2 inches, giving it a more aerodynamic body line, a larger and more steeply raked windscreen. And they've also lengthened the wheelbase a bit to give more space for passengers, particularly in the back, and a bit more boot space. Apart from that, there are very few changes in the external shape, although, as you'd expect, of course, in a car of the 80s, they've cleaned up the outline by having flush-fitting glass all round. Now, I mentioned the extended wheelbase. That has pushed the boot space up to 9 cubic feet, enough to take 2 adult-sized suitcases, you can see. And you've got the usual arrangement whereby you can split the rear seat to take longer items. Now, the other area of major redesign has been the engine. It's all alloy, both the head and the block, 16 valves, an overhead camshaft driving new lightweight valve train. Comes in 2 versions, 1.3 litre giving 75 brake horsepower, 1.4 litre producing 90. A very compact little power unit. The inside has generally been handled very well. The new suspension has enabled them to achieve this very flat floor, plus an extra inch of headroom in the back, and it certainly feels very spacey. And the driving position is a good one, although for my money the seats run out of support at about shoulder level. But let's drive it. Well, the handling is undoubtedly very good indeed. They've done a great deal to stiffen up the car, so there's no lean on the bends even at speed. The steering is neat and precise with a very good turn-in, and the car doesn't leap about all over the place, even on rough and bumpy country roads, as is so often the case with the smaller, lighter car. As for the performance of the 16-valve engine, well, this isn't, of course, the sporty version of the Civic, the CRX, so the performance is pleasing rather than exciting. Acceleration is 0 to 60 in just over 11 seconds for the 1.3 engine car, just under 10 seconds for the 1.4. But at motorway cruising speeds, the engine's very relaxed, well within its capacity, and there certainly isn't excessive engine noise in the cabin. In fact, they've done a great deal to reduce noise of all kinds. They've redesigned the engine mounts, for example. They've used a newly developed floor pan called the dimpled floor pan, covered with a thickish absorbing layer to cut out a lot of road and engine noise, and it certainly works. The car is relatively quiet at motorway cruising speeds. What don't I like about the new Civic? Well, there seems to be nowhere inside the car to stow anything. Honda's design philosophy happens to be technology for human beings. Well, most human beings, certainly this one, use the car as an extension of their living space. But there's nowhere to stow a map or a pencil or a packet of sandwiches or a pocket calculator. Apart from that, though, the new Civic is what we've come to expect from Honda, a very good, very functional piece of motor engineering. The Honda Civic 1.3 Deluxe has a 1343cc engine producing 75 brake horsepower. Maximum speed is 105 miles an hour. The 0 to 60 time is 11 seconds, and fuel consumption averages 43 miles to the gallon. And the price, £6,850.